This is a
Good time, Charlie?
production.
On your marks, get set, play.
Hello there.
Good favor.
That I really like.
That is delicious.
Welcome back to the Tartlets. It's a great British Bake Off podcast. It's hosted by us, me, the Internet 713, with my best friends, Nick Jew.
Hola.
Oh, I love that sweater. I just saw that.
Thank you.
And the big homie, Tatum, 216.
Hello.
Hello. Hi. How's it going? And if I'm starting Bakers Make the World Go Round this early, you know what it is. So let me, just give you that. Bakers make the world go round. I promise you they do. It's the best part about bakers. They're everywhere and they make the world go round. Bruh. I don't even know how to do this one.
Don't freak out, everybody.
I already kind of am.
But freak out, kind of.
Already got a little lightweight nervous tummy, but here we go. Not only are we joined by 3-time star baker, a woman who can make her own sprinkles. The champ is here. So I can get this right. Talo for lava to Ms. Mackenzie Rubish. Rubish.
Aww,
Did I get it right?
Talapalapa. Yes.
Welcome
love it.
to our show. I am super excited to have you here.
Thank you for having me. This is fantastic.
Oh,
Fantastic.
We absolutely love it. We're gonna just hang out. We're gonna talk some junk. It's gonna be great, and I absolutely love it. What do you want to say? Tell us about yourself? How
Oh my
who are
gosh.
you, and what makes you click?
Oh yeah. Let's see. I am 38 years old. I'm a first generation Samoan. I live in Fallbrook, California. Was born and raised in Oceanside. I work full time as a quality analyst. I'm also a mother of 3. I have twin girls that are 4 years old and another girl that is 8 years old. And I absolutely love to bake.
Love it. I love it. How long have you been baking?
Gosh, everyone says, oh, I've been baking since I'm 2, right? That's kind of like, and I have. I have been raised in a community and family where food was a love language. So the kitchen was the loudest room of any home I was in. The heart, that's where the heartbeat came from. So I was raised around food, and I always enjoyed baking because it was like the end of any meal, right? It's the thing that you look forward to. It's the first thing I look at when I look at a menu at any restaurant. I don't care about what I'm going to eat as far as dinner. I want to know what's on the dessert menu.
Yes.
So I've always been drawn to it, and started baking, in high school for friends and for my boyfriend at the time. And then I baked in college, and then it just grew from there. And then I had my family, baked. And then thankfully, the Great British Bake Off became a show, and it encouraged me to continue with my passion and teach myself the skill. And here we are.
I, of course, been reading up on love all the. I find these interviews. And I'm like, the American Samoan news has Asian American news has you, but then it was Samoan News has an article about you. Your high school has you as an article about you for the alumni newsletter. I'm like, this is so fun, and it means I just think you've made an impact on already, and I think that's so cool that so many people are like, "Yo, this is important. We got one of ours out here, and we're going to celebrate her." And I absolutely have enjoyed reading up on you and seeing all that.
The love that the community has shown far and wide is unbelievable. And yeah, it just, I think I was telling Nicole, I'm still trying to get used to all of this.
Yeah.
And it's just so surreal, but I'm so proud of what I was able to accomplish. And I hope it encourages other people to, right, follow their dream wherever that may be, no matter what age you are in life,
Yeah.
too. And just go for it, you know? So
For the record, our Nicole, you were hers going from the word go. She knew you were going to come out on top, and so
Yeah, I called it. I called it. And then for me, what really sealed it was the and because I know you're a Californian, the In and Out inspired ham pies.
the amount of people that were like, we all know what she was
Right.
talking about. Because they said on the show, the West Coast chain.
Mm-hmm.
And what's funny is that I wasn't even going to bake that. That wasn't even my first choice.
Oh, really?
Because when I was trying to think of a savory hand pie, my first instinct was to show like my Polynesian roots through this. So I was trying to come up with a hand pie that was like spam musubi, like with rice and spam and teriyaki. And my husband was like, but really? He's like, really? He's like, you're trying to be like over the top. And sometimes that gets you into trouble on the show when you're trying to be over the top.
Yeah.
He's like, what brings you comfort? And I was like, cheeseburgers always bring me comfort. He goes,
Me get a double.
right? He goes, then do that. He's like, lean into what you know and what you love, because that's going to show in your baking. And then I thought, well, am I playing it too safe by just bringing in a cheeseburger? Because to me, cheeseburger is like everyday food. So then when I got there, and even Prue and Paul were like, why have we never thought of this? To put all this in a hand pie. And I'm like, did I just give them something new that I consider to be everyday? And I was like, okay. And now I'm getting like, we need the recipe. Why aren't these being sold? We need cheeseburger hand pies at like every drive-through. Like, put aside the apple pie, put a cheeseburger in your apple pie. And I'm like, yeah.
No, for real, because I don't even bake, and I'm like, okay, that's like a puff pastry and some hamburger meat. I think I could do it.
Yeah, you can, and the combination you can do. Like, of course, I added, sautéed onions because that is animal style.
Animal style.
In and out. And then I added mushrooms because that was kind of owed to my dad. He passed away almost 20 years. And mushrooms was, if a burger had mushrooms on it, that's what he got. Like, no question. And so you can, you could play around with savory flavors. Like, you could put a sloppy Joe in there. If you think about it, do something simple. Or
taco flavoring.
Yeah, taco, exactly. So now my
we're just not
cogs
making
start
enough hand
turning.
pies in America.
I know. My cogs are starting to turn, and I'm like,
Right.
what else could I stick in a hand pie?
Now you got a whole line of ham pies.
I know. I'm like, ground lamb.
Okay. With some tzatziki on the side.
With some feta crumbles.
Mm-hmm.
See,
Spinach.
got me thinking about it.
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it.
I'm like, and then of course when they said dipping sauce, I'm like, well, that's easy.
Fancy sauce.
It is fancy
That's a
sauce.
no-brainer. And then Paul was like, this is delicious. And I'm like, I eat this like almost every week. Okay.
That's a big stick it to the people who talk crap about In and Out too, because I'm on the internet fighting for my life.
I was so scared that they were going to come up to my bench and be like, really? A cheeseburger? Like, that's it? And so I'm glad that I stuck with my gut and just went with it and just like, nope, this is, I had to.
Absolutely. So I saw you posted, or in an interview, you said that you submitted your application on May the 4th. Are you a Star Wars nerd?
I am a Star Wars junkie so much that I married a Luke. No, I'm kidding. My husband's name is Luke, but not because of Star Wars, but huge Star Wars junkie. Grew up in it. One of my favorite sleeping bags was from Return of the Jedi. I was an Ewok at one point for Halloween. But yeah, I was sitting on my couch scrolling on Instagram. It was like 9:00 at night. And all of a sudden the ad popped up and I'm like, huh. All right. Why not? And then jokingly, like, may the fourth be with me, and just clicked on it and just started answering questions. And it was like 75 plus questions. And I'm going through it and answering. I get to the bottom and it says, submit a 2-minute video.
Oh.
And I am like, like it is 9:30. I am tired. I look like not ready for camera. So I said to myself, you know what? I'll do this in the morning when I like put makeup on and do my hair and get all nice and pretty. And then my gut told me, no, this is life. This is real.
Just submit it. Mm-hmm.
Just go in the office and just be you. So I did. I went into the office, closed the door, and I was like, hey, this is me. This is what I look like. I am tired. I love debate because it's like therapeutic. My kids are in bed. This is the only time I could probably fill this out without being interrupted. And I clicked submit and just thought, okay, it's going to go into a cloud somewhere. And that was it. Never even thought anything of it.
How long did it take for them to get back to you?
About 2 weeks. 2 weeks, I got a text message and no one was home when I got the text. And I was like looking around going, why is there nobody home right now? So I need someone to read this and tell me that what I'm reading is correct. So I started calling everybody, like screenshotting, like, is this real? Like, I even responded. I'm pretty sure I responded, like, are you a real person? And I was like, okay, it's happening. And then I just took it like one step at a time. That's what I told myself. And it was almost scary and freaky how the stars aligned for me as far as having time off of work, having somebody to watch the kids so I can do interviews and go up to LA. Like, it was so easy. And a lot of my life is not with trying to find childcare and time off of work to do things. But anytime I was like, oh, I have to be up in LA on this specific date, my husband's like, oh, I'm off that day.
It's crazy. Like it was ordained.
Yes. It was like, I was ready to like fight or find some random babysitter down the street to come over. I'd pay them in baked goods, but it was just like crazy. Like, oh, I'm off that day. Oh, yeah. Oh, no big deal. I was like,
Meant to be. And look at you now, the winner.
Oh,
I'm just going to talk a little crap because I called it. So you have a pet pig?
I do. I have
What's
a pet pig.
Pig's name?
His name is Kevin Bacon.
Yes, of course.
Of course it is.
I was thinking of something cute, and then, nope.
Oh my gosh!
And he knows his name. He will come.
Pig?
He
just
will,
like they hang out in the yard all the time, or what?
Yeah.
What?
I let him out each morning out of his. He has a big enclosed pen, and he has like comforters and blankets, and he gets all snuggled in there at night. I let him out every morning, and he just runs amok all day. And then around 7:00, you hear him snorting up the hill because he knows it's dinner time. He eats all my scraps. So if I like peel sweet potatoes, carrot tops, strawberry tops, put them all in a bowl, and I throw them out into the yard, and he eats them all. It's fantastic. I love it.
Brilliant. This is why you need a pet pig.
Yeah, exactly. Save a lot on like trash and yeah.
You're doing your
he's
part
great.
for the environment. That's when you think about it.
Yeah. Yeah. And then fertilizes right back into it, right? Just full cycle ecosystem. So it's great. Yeah.
Okay, truly. What was it like getting the Hollywood handshake?
Yeah.
Did you see my face?
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, I totally thought he found something in my cake. That was the first thing that came to my mind. Was he found like plastic, a toothpick? So
He was like, "Come here."
So he's like, and what's even crazier is like looking back, I know he does that to other bakers.
Yeah.
But yet my head did not register that. I 100% believed he found something wrong. So I went up there with pure fear. Like I just was like, oh my God, what did he, like, cause he was picking at it with his fork. And so I was like, oh no. he found like, I don't know, hair. It's not like we wear bonnets or anything. Like, maybe I left a whole dish rag in there. I have no idea. But when his hand came out, it was just, insane. Because the amount of doubt that I went through just coming up with that concept, and even after I baked it, I kept thinking, like, are my layers going to be too thin? Are they not going to like how loose my curd is? Are they going to, you know what I mean? Like, it's almost second nature to doubt yourself and think about what aren't they going to like? So that's all I could think about was, they're not going to like this, they're not going to like that. So to get the Hollywood handshake, and on episode 1, it was like, okay.
Kismet.
Yeah. I was like, okay, I can do this.
You watch Bake Off. I'm sure when you see a Hollywood handshake, you just cheer or scream a little bit.
Absolutely.
Trust me, when you got your Hollywood handshake, it was very loud in this house because I was just like, yeah, that's what's up. Because I don't know, man, it's really cool to see us as Americans, I guess, kind of impress that guy. You know, he seems so, and it's like, our team did it. It's like the Olympics.
Because Paul's very candid about what he thinks about American baking.
Oh.
So to impress him and bring him something that, look how many times he's judged a baked item.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're getting to the point where it's almost like movie ideas, right? We're running out of movie ideas, so we just reinvent old movies.
Yeah.
We're going to get to a point where maybe he's going to be less impressed because he's seen so much and have tasted so much. So to bring something to him where he is impressed enough to give a handshake, and it's like, there was a lot of curse words, I'll tell you that much. I still, even just watching it myself, because the first time I saw it was when the show came out. Besides physically watching it happen,
existing within it, yes.
Right. It was one of those things where it's like waiting all this time for it to come out. It wasn't real until I saw it.
Yeah.
And then for my family to see it, even to this day, I'm like, holy shija, that happened.
You could cuss here.
Holy shit balls.
Did you do watch parties with your family and stuff?
Yeah. We had 2 watch parties. One where we did the first episode, and then 2 weeks later we did the final episode. And then I also had a watch party at work. So work hosted a party too. So, because they were so supportive of me being away for a whole month, and they were, my boss was the 3rd person I called when I won. Yeah. I called crying and
What do you think is the most impressive thing that they left out? Because Chris said he got stung by a hornet. So,
there's so many things that they leave out. But I think that there was a couple things that I was hoping they would leave in. I did get stung, but off camera. I've never been stung in my life until I went there. So I had to go to the UK just to get stung. But, the first episode, Showstopper, the cake, you're carrying the cake up to the table, and it's your first one. And I am so beyond nervous. And I put it down, and you step back and you step on the taped X where you're supposed to step, and you stand there and you have to tell them. And I'm shaking. I am sweating. I am so nervous. And this huge gust of wind blows in from the front and knocks down the plant behind Paul and Prue.
Oh, no.
Like, there's just a huge palm tree behind them. Yeah. Fully just boom, like right over onto the floor. And I instantly felt calm and at ease. And I knew it was my dad.
I was about to say, it sounds like some big dad energy, like shaking some stuff up.
I felt like this energy just, all right, we're here. And like, we're fucking here. Like, you did it. Like, do stop doubting yourself. You are here. You deserve to be here. And I felt just like, okay, well, whatever they say, I'm still a great baker.
Yep.
And that's when I my energy changed, and I wish you would have seen that almost.
Yeah.
I even said into the microphone, like, oh, it's just my dad coming in to say hi. And Casey goes,
Nice.
oh my God. So little moments like that. Yeah, there were some things that I remember Chris getting stung. Sometimes the ovens, I think at one point, I think it was RJ. So the oven is a pause play button. So to change the temperature on the oven, you have to push pause, change the temp, and then push play again.
Oh my God, I could see.
And I think at one point, I think it was during the apple pie, RJ forgot to hit play again. So he changed the temp, but didn't push play. And so there's little things that would have made sense to the viewer.
Yeah.
But and it adds to the stress. It does. And I will say one thing that I loved about watching the show is there's so many things. I'm right next to these people. I'm right next to the other bakers, and half of the shit that I saw, I did not remember, because you're so focused and you're so in the zone that it's like, I wish I almost would have known all this stuff, because then I would have gone up to them and talked to them about it afterwards, just to ease them and just to have that conversation with them. Because it's like the final episode, what happened to the tarts for RJ, I did not know that was going on behind me. And it's like, oh, it just it just breaks my heart, because I'm just like, oh my gosh. But they showed a lot. They rarely edited anything out. Although there was one scene that I talked about Tom Selleck a little bit more, but it was a little bit more inappropriate.
As you do, as one does.
I referenced him trying my pie in the future. Since I was technically making apple pie, it seemed appropriate, but heavily salted with innuendo. So there's a reason why that did not make it.
Speaking of that particular apple pie, let's get that clear.
Yes.
What is this nonsense about trying to take it out of the tin? We were just discussing. We've had such a discussion about this. I'm like, I'm sure it happens. Sure, somebody's doing it.
Please show me. In a shop. Take me to a shop that when you walk in, it's out of the tin. Please. I get that you may do it at home for pictures.
Not even in.
And you've had 8 hours for it to cool.
Yeah.
But I'm scared to take a tart out of a ring.
Yeah.
When they said that, I was like, all right, hope you're ready for some cobbler, because that's what's going to be.
Because usually the only thing that's not in the tin is a galette.
Yeah. And I'm just like, and yeah.
I just don't even know what you're supposed to do to get it out, because, you do the lattice. The lattice is going to kind of hit the edge of the tin anyway. That's going to kind of bake onto the tin. I'm like, what? I don't know what you could have done to even make it so it could come out of the tin clean.
Par bake it, maybe.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And then let it cool.
Yeah, well, yes.
For hours. I was just like, I attempted it. Small letter attempt. Yeah. Because I know that in my experience, if I do a little like this with my pie, I can tell if it's loose in the tin. You could tell. But the weight of apple and juice, I get that theirs was out of the tin for the pretty, like when they go to the tent and they show Paul and Prue tasting. I get that, but yeah, if it's a true American apple pie though, ain't going out of the tin.
It's gonna be in a tin or on in a plate of some sort.
We're literally gonna get T-shirts that say "Leave it in the tin." That's all we talked about, and I'm like, yeah, I absolutely.
I was gonna ask about the I don't know how to pronounce it. The traditional Samoan steam cake.
Oh, the pulingi.
Yeah. What's that recipe like? How does that work?
So the pouligny is a giant cake that you steam in a pot with water. Because in Samoa they don't have traditional ovens that we use. So a lot of their baking was done over open flame. So they would put a little water in the bottom of a giant pot. I use like an angel food cake pan.
Mm-hmm.
So high walls. Put that in the giant pot, like a big canning pot, with a little bit of water, and just the steam is what cooks the cake. And it has a very like fall spice type of, has like nutmeg, cinnamon in it, coconut extract, but you burn sugar, and that's where you get the color. You take sugar and you burn it like past amber, like to the point where you're like, this, I'm about to throw it out. And then you add that to, condensed milk and eggs and a little bit of water, then the dry ingredients, and then you pour this batter into it, and then about an hour and a half it steams.
Huh.
Yeah, and it's something
Is it
my dad always made for me, and yeah, he put raisins in it. I can't stand raisins in baked goods.
Thank you.
Just always gonna throw the raisins in. I never understand it. Like, I can appreciate a raisin, but stop throwing it in your bakes.
It just gets all slimy.
My husband, I call it, it's like chewing on boogers. That's how.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Thank you.
That's a much better description. I don't think slimy. It just has a weird texture to it.
Yeah. Okay. I'm bougie in this way. Like if I go to a restaurant and they have carrot cake on the menu, I will ask the waiter, "Is there raisins in your carrot cake?" I can't do it. I will sit there and pick them out.
Well, that makes you people at this point. You my folk, and now because that is something we can both agree on fully.
Yeah. But yeah, I love pouligny, and it's something that I make. You can eat it at breakfast, lunch, dinner, dessert. You can make a coconut custard and kind of pour it on there. I slather butter on it. Like country crock. I grew up on country crock. You just slather it on and eat.
Less calories.
Yeah, the best kind.
Did you have one of your which one of your bakes were like, this was the one? I'm very proud of what I made here.
I think my favorite was my banana split bomb.
Mine too.
Yeah, only because I did so many things I had never done before. So the bomb in itself was like a new concept because that came from the Great British Baking Show. I had to watch the episode again to understand what am I making. And I was going to do a carrot cake design, and it was going to look like a carrot coming out of dirt, like, the top of and then I made a carrot pineapple gelée to put in it, and my husband tasted it and goes, "Oh, baby food."
Oh no.
And I'm just like, okay, well, can't do that. Shifting gears. So he's like, come on, make one of your desserts that you love. And we happened to go out that day to an ice cream parlor and get a banana split. And I was like, what if I did a banana split? Like, try and incorporate those flavors. So, and I was like, oh, and it can look like an ice cream, upset, scoop and the chocolate. And then the night before, no joke, the night before filming, my original plan was to dye the Italian meringue different colors and just pipe on sprinkles, like the look of sprinkles. And I was like, no, because you need like the crunch, like the texture and the look. So no shit, the night before I Googled how to make sprinkles.
That was a boss move. That was such a boss ass move. Like, how you gonna make some sprinkles? I wasn't on the show last week, but I was at home like, girl, yes. And then like, not to spoil it for our listeners, but the embossed stamp from this finale week, I'm like, oh, flex on them.
I was like, how do I just jazz it up? And the sprinkles too, it's like, I'm almost glad that they didn't give me sprinkles, because the ice cream is so big, you needed the sprinkles to match the size.
It might have been one of the most perfect things I've ever seen on either of these shows, American or British. I was really taken aback. And you make that cherry, it's like it's Bavarois. I'm like, word? Okay, we out here cooking, baking, like for real. So I definitely
push the envelope one. I really challenged myself in skill and technique.
Yeah.
And I just went for it. And I love color. I love design. I want it to be something that you're instantly attracted to, because you eat with your eyes. First and foremost, you eat with your eyes. So I
Absolutely.
wanted it to just really capture you, and then eat it and be just like, yep, yeah, just comfort. To me, it's all about just like nostalgic and comfort. And if it evokes an old happy memory, then yay. But if it gives you a new one, then that's like, it's win-win right there.
And now, on top of being the Great American Baking Show champion, you can add makes my own sprinkles to your resume.
And what's crazy is like all the recipes I was reading was like, let it dry for 24 hours, let it dry for 12 hours. And I'm just like, I
ain't got time.
Yeah.
More, if not less, because so what I did was I left the oven on, but the door cracked. So I dried them out. So I found a way to like, they didn't show it, but I found a way to like wedge a wooden like spatula in the door. And at one point they like come over and they're like, your oven's open and there's stuff inside. I'm like, yeah, I'm drying out my sprinkles. Leave me alone. I'm glad they showed that. I'm glad they showed, because like the producer was like, let us know when you're chopping your sprinkles. We need this. I guess no one's ever made them on the show.
Again, I'm telling you, it was so killer. So
Yeah.
I'm
sitting there just like chop, 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 chop. I'm like, okay. And it was fun, and it brought me so much happiness, all the color, and yeah.
It was just gorgeous. Like I
Thank
mean, like
you.
it was the best looking one, in my opinion, of all of the bombs made. I was like, yeah, we don't do that. Again, we don't eat those in America. That's not something we regularly serve up around here. I don't think I've ever.
No.
Bomb. You know.
The closest thing I think we could get to that is like a baked Alaska. And even then, you don't find that very often. Yeah.
So.
Incredible. Congratulations yet again. And your final showstopper, you were freaking out, but then you put a beautiful masterpiece on the table. It was beautiful.
Yeah, that was intense. That was that was the one bake where I actually struggled. I was pretty calm throughout all of them because I was very confident in what I was doing. You probably saw how much of an Excel nerd I was, and I time blocked myself.
I was going to ask you about that. She literally has like little time blocks for all her baking up on her Instagram. It's incredible.
Yeah, I have my little OCD in myself. So, but yeah, I made a batch of macarons, man. Oh,
Throughout the first batch, I was like, oh no. First two batches.
Two. So the first two came from the same batch.
Yeah.
So, and then I remade the third one completely. I had an hour left when I started making the third one.
And then did you fill the tarts after you placed them on? Because at first you were placing them just for distance, but they were empty?
It might have been just the coloring.
Oh, okay.
But they were full. And then nougatine. Never made nougatine in my life. Thanks to Peter from Great British, he used nougatine. So I was like, ooh, I like sesame caramel candy.
Yeah.
I had to do macarons. You know, even when Zach came up, he's like, why would you do something that you struggle with and hate? And I was like, because I am who I am today because of how many times I've failed in baking, because I kept pushing myself. And if this was truly about the journey to the tent, like they said, then I had to include things that have pushed me over the edge.
Mm-hmm.
I have quit baking so many times because of macarons. Even to this day, I'm just like, I think they're always just I have to accept that they are just going to be my problem.
The challenge for you.
Yeah, my problem child in baking.
What's next for you?
Well, I have to bake tonight.
What are you baking tonight?
I am doing homemade Rice Krispie treats because I love Rice
Yum.
Krispie treats. But I'm going to throw in, a lot of people do plain or they throw in like chocolate or something. I'm actually going to throw in freeze dried fruit to actually change it up a little bit. You'll almost kind of come off like Crunch Berry, but without having to use Crunch Berries. Yeah. So I want to give that a try. I'm going to do some chocolate chip blondies. I'm doing a 4th of July segment for the news tomorrow morning. And then I'm doing a vegan tart. And I'm going to do a strawberry layer, coconut layer, and then blueberry layer. So you get the red, white, and blue.
Nice.
And a pistachio crust. So yeah.
Sounds amazing.
Other than that, I would love to do more TV. I absolutely loved it. Who would have thunk? I felt so comfortable being on set and being with the crew. And from the moment I was there, I treated them like they were family, aunties and uncles. And what's funny is like when I was making my bomb, I had extra banana cake, like mousse and all that stuff. I was making bowls for the crew and I was putting them on the bench next to me with forks. Because they're there for like 12, 14 hours filming. So I was feeding them because I was more worried about them being fed. And I do. I loved being on TV. I would love to get back on and do maybe not a competition. I think I'm good there.
You and Chris, he said he wants to do like a road show where he goes and does like a diners, drive-ins, and dives with bakeries. Y'all should link up.
I would love to teach on camera. I would love that, kind of show people how I learned, because do it with the family, because that's a big thing for me is you can do it at home. Why not have fun with it?
This is but a YouTube channel away from happening. I'm telling you, you can do it.
Make my husband film my Paul Hollywood stunt double. Come in and judge my stuff. So yeah, I think sky's the limit. Sky's the limit, right?
I see great things where you were so comfortable on the camera. I never would have known that you were nervous at all. It didn't come off at all. Super congrats, obviously. Final round of questions. The one question that I've been meaning to ask everybody is, do you know who bakes the show bake when Paul and Prue are...
We got to meet her. She's fantastic. I'm blanking on her name, but it's funny because like they would have us being very busy while she would take it, so we couldn't see and stuff.
Oh yeah.
But man, if I could have like coffee with her, that would be fantastic. I would love just to like, because there's so many things like, yes, I taught myself how to bake. Amateur baker. I did the show, but there are so many things that I still would love to learn as a baker, like how to take a pie out of the tin. How do you do a Battenberg?
Right?
That is again, that's not something we eat here. I think every now and again they go and sell at Trader Joe's or Aldi or something.
My face when they said that, I was like, I'm out, done. See ya.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But yeah.
My one question will be, what was the favorite bake that wasn't yours?
Oh wow, there were so many. Oh wow. I will say that was a highlight. That was being able to eat everybody's. Okay, based on the first recipe I asked for after the show was RJ's bomb.
Okay.
He got a handshake for.
Oh, that cute one with the little penguins or whatever that was. Yeah, polar bears. Yeah.
His layer of mousse was incredible.
Yeah,
and he is
cinnamon mascarpone and
So
Mexican hot chocolate
I would
cake.
say that because that was the first recipe I asked for outside of the tent. Yeah.
Yeah, man. There's some stuff this season. I truly had a great time watching this series. I also got to talk to like several bakers. Going to try to get everybody on next week. We're going to see what I can pull off and see if I can knock everybody out one more time before we call it. And it's just like I said, I truly enjoyed it. I'm so proud of you. Who a stranger to me, I know, but we were rooting for you. I'm telling you. So,
Thank you so much. It's
yeah.
yeah. It's
And
crazy.
here you are, the champ. Where do you sit? Where do you put the plate at?
The plate actually it's on my top shelf in my kitchen.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I moved my husband's stuff over to the out of here. Who cares?
I absolutely love it. Oh my gosh! Congratulations again. Thank you so very much for hanging out with us for a little bit here tonight.
As soon as I got your email, I was like, "Thank you." I'm like so excited because I was watching all the other bakers post about being on it, and I was like,
Oh, wow.
So
I want to do it.
Initially, I was speaking with a gentleman at the one firm that we were running stuff through. We had to go through some other people first, and he was like, "You want to talk to the champ?" And it was like he said that before the show had even come out. He goes, "We got to wait till the show comes out, but I'll get you the champ on." I'm like, "Sure thing, bud. Thank you." And nothing ever came of it. But then we hung out with Victoria. Victoria's like, "I'm gonna just send you everybody's info."
Yeah.
Sick. So
yep.
I hit you up the one way, hit you up the other way, and here we are. So.
No. Honestly, I was totally jealous. I was like, well, I want to do it, and no joke. I told my husband, I'm like, if I don't hear from him after the 4th, I think I might reach out to him and ask if I can be on his.
Oh.
So I was like, I want to talk about the show.
Yeah. Well, you won. So,
right.
So I mean, I kind of had to save you for this episode.
I'm so thankful for you guys because this is what makes not the show, but just the love of baking. Just, like you said, bakers make the world go round. So
we love Bake Off so much, we make a show about it. So trust me, we're in. And
well,
of course,
if I'm ever in town, let's get together and I'll bake something. So I'll smuggle some cookies or something.
Love it.
Yeah.
I think one of the coolest parts is nobody spoiled anything.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
And we watched it week to week.
Yeah.
Even though it was all available, we still did it week by week. We didn't go in and watch it early. So I just watched your episode Sunday.
Yeah.
And again,
so I have to ask you, what was your favorite bake? And it doesn't have to be mine.
Truly, I'm not joking. I'm telling you right now, that banana split bomb and the tower you made. The cookie tower.
Yeah, my princess tower.
Oh, yeah.
We like I said, we was in here like wilding out because of like, you see this? Can y'all believe this? And then the parachute, the eclairs thing you did too with the peach the peach tree. Yeah. Psh, come on, are you kidding me? I'm not joking. You were it.
Yeah. We were a big fan of Royun's.
I was Team Royun. No joke.
Yeah, her cute little
Mackenzie
thing
all the way through.
Oh.
And so
I will say one thing that I loved. Like, I don't know how they do it, but they're so good at getting just different people, different baking styles, we all came with something different, and it was fascinating, and I learned new things from all the bakers, and I take those home with me. And Royun, like her bread thing with like the hanging lanterns, I was like, okay,
right.
So many things I've learned. RJ, I hit him up all the time for technical stuff, and
everybody has said that they like that's the one to go to for like gelatinizing things and spheres.
Like, even for me, I don't know the common phrases. I'll like make up something. Like he's like, well, this is a sphere and do this. I'm like, I call it a wiggle. And then there's like a line. And if I see the line, then we're good. Like,
that's how it should be.
Yeah.
We'd love for you to come back anytime. We do the Great British Baking Show too. If you want to pop in one week and guest with us.
Yeah.
Always welcome.
You got the email?
I would love
we
that.
follow you on the various socials. Oh, if you want, if you do want people to follow you, and if you do, what's your social handle?
Absolutely. I'm on Instagram, so sweet.mackenzie.bakes. That is where I'm the most active. I'm not very good at the other stuff, so that is the place to see all the good stuff. And if you DM me, I will answer you back. If you comment, I want to talk to you. I love talking to people.
Like, no, I'm not talking to you, stranger.
There's maybe one person I was like, I love talking about things, whether it's motherhood or even the real shit with motherhood. Like, how do you get away from your children? I get a hotel room for a night by myself. I order room service. Anything and everything. I am very unfiltered when it comes to life. And I'll shoot straight. Yeah.
There you go. Well, that's what's up. That is one Mrs. Mackenzie Rubish. Thank you so very much for kicking it with us. Go follow her because she has a fun follow. I followed her TikTok today. Bunch of stuff on there too, no matter what she says.
That's right. I am on TikTok. There's that one too.
Yeah, trust me. Don't worry. It'll be in the show notes. I'll give you various links right there. You can click them and go follow them. They're a delight. She is a delight, as you can tell. The champ, y'all. Thank you so very much for joining us.
Thank you. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
Y'all, it is the final, and it was a damn good final. I'm not gonna lie to you. I had a good time with this one.
I was stressed out.
And it was I didn't expect that, but they showed up and showed out. Okay, of course, as always, we got to start with our opening bit. And I truly think, in the end, I enjoyed every opening bit this season. This blowing up the cake bit, we're gonna blow up the cakes, and then when he really made that one cake pop, he was honestly scared Casey. She's like, that's great.
No, there were some Hall of Fame opening bits this season.
I had too much fun, and that one was a good way to close it out. Our remaining bakers in the tent are people playing for the victory. Though you already know who won, because of course her picture will be on this episode. Although I guess you could think that she got sent home, but that's not normally how that works at the end of the last episode, y'all. It's Nicole, it's Mackenzie, and it's RJ. And let's get to some action. Nick, what's up with that signature?
The signature challenge: 8 identical fruit tartlets. The tartlets should consist of sweet pastry dough, filling, and fresh fruit prominently featured on top. They have 2 hours.
I'm going to send you guys a picture that I took of the screen. Tell me when you got it. The screen lied. Or the
12. It says 12 on the screen, but the voiceover said 8.
Said 8. Paul Hollywood said 8. Everybody made it say 8, but they on the edit whatever on the
somebody getting fired.
They put 12, and I was like, wait a minute, I know they said 8 when I saw it on the screen. Like I said, you goofs. How'd you get out with that? 2 hours to complete, and I was like, is that not enough time, or is that too much time? And well, we'll go through and we'll see. RJ, for the first time, moved from the entire season was in spot 3.
Spot 3, yeah.
And now he is the first one up this week. Let's go brambling. I'm like, yeah, that's real English. Brambling to go pick blackberries, y'all, is what the Prue Leith explained to RJ is what that's called. He's like, I might be using that going forward and get out here and go on brambling. So that's what's up, y'all. He's making orange, blackberry, and basil tarts. He's using an orange frangipane topped with blackberry and basil compote, topped with glazed blackberries. The picture had some orange slices that were supposed to be amongst the berries. Didn't work out, but dreams.
I felt for the picture man this episode. Like, all that work.
Picture man. Frangipane or almond cream is a sweet almond flavored custard traditionally made by combining 2 parts almond cream or creme d'amande with 1 part pastry cream, aka creme patissier. We out here.
Name pick.
Mackenzie's up next. She's making raspberry lemon tarts. It's a lemon frangipane base topped with lemon curd, then decorated on top with apricot glazed raspberries and a white chocolate coin with a lemon embossed on it, and then a little gold up. Y'all, was real good. After Rayo went on, and it was very sad out. You know what I'm saying? I was like, hey, it's my girl. Mackenzie absolutely dog walked the rest of the show. It was like, I get it. There are other bakers, they can bake. Y'all was not up there with her. She was baking on a different level. And I know she just on the show and it seemed like I'm kind of blowing smoke up her tuchus, but no, y'all, it was different.
Well, it was hers to lose. So she could have even come in and like stunk it up and still they would have had a very strong case for her to win.
Yeah. But she ain't take her foot off their neck. Not here, not anywhere. Nicole's up next. Blackberry chocolate tarts. A pata sucra is what she was using. It's a base filled with blackberry mint jam, topped with chocolate ganache, decorated with fresh blackberries. A pata sucra. Don't know if I'm pronouncing sucra. Pata I can get down. Is a crisp yet tender.
Sucre. If it's French.
It is. It's like 2 E's with a little al dente over the first one. Sucre. Thank you. It's a crisp yet tender pastry crust that is slightly sweet. It maintains its shortbread-like texture when chilled, which makes it ideal for tarts that require refrigeration. Get down with this sucre. Let's judge this.
Or sucre. Whatever.
It's all good. Look, I gave you information you didn't have before this. Take advantage. Mackenzie's up top. Beautiful. Love the decoration. Paul likes the flavors, but finds the frangipane to be drying on the mouth because it's a little too thick. Prue, this is why over and over I tell you, y'all really got to watch it. Because even though I'm telling you what happens, you got to see it happen. Prue agrees, like, yeah, and then immediately pops that shit in the mouth.
Another bite. She was like, nah, son.
Does a little dance, because you know what I'm saying? I love when Prue does a little dance. And it's like, it's still lovely. It just tastes fantastic. So in my opinion, it couldn't have been too bad. And Prue tells Mackenzie, you're such a good baker. No question.
Them little embossed coins or whatever. Man, listen, put a little gold on it. Just a flex.
Oh my gosh. Nicole's up next. Prue thinks the mint leaves give it a visual pop that the otherwise dark tart needed. Paul doesn't appreciate the piped jams. It's like jam piped into little chocolate, little, I don't know, acorn berry looking things. It was, you got to see it to understand it. But he thinks everything looks neat. It's not quite set. Prue eats it. It's just too rich. Paul thinks mixing blackberry and chocolate doesn't work because the chocolate overwhelms the fruit. You get the tartness and a bit of sharpness, but you don't get any flavor. So you either have to dial down the chocolate and dial up the berry. The berry hit harder. Or you got to be like, all right, it's just chocolate. It's a chocolate tart and the berries is hanging out here. And it's supposed to be a fruit tart. So that's why you want the berries to really be more present. But the textures were spot on. The flavor just not so much. RJ, don't look great. Sandy texture to the crust, more like a sablé, which is described as being like sand. So, it kind of works if it were a sablé. Just so I can hit y'all with another lesson, pâté sablé, a pâte sablé is made with more sugar, which sweetens the mix, but it impedes gluten strands, creating a pastry that breaks up easily in the mouth. The flavors are lovely. Frangipane layer is good. Paul likes the flavors and the zing of the orange, but they look a right mess.
I felt so bad for him too, because whatever baking thing he used, it was supposed to be able to easily come out of the ring, and it just didn't.
Refused. Yeah, and it's like I don't even know what to tell you to do. And apparently they think it was the way he made the dough. It just had to get hit a couple more times on the folds, and that would have helped its glutinous structure develop a little further, and probably would have made for an easier removal from the little tart rings. But it stinks otherwise. So that's what's up. Moving right along, this technical, Nick.
Technical challenge set by Prue. I had to quote her here. You know how we're always banging on about precision and finesse? Well, this time we really, really mean it. They want 8 identical tropical layered slices, 7 perfectly even layers made of Jacon sponge, white chocolate French buttercream, and passion fruit and mango gelée.
Ooh, gelée.
They have 3 hours.
Oh, cool. I didn't write down that 3 hours. Thank you for that. Now, I know we've gone over Jacon and gelée for that matter. So that leaves French buttercream. French buttercream is made by gently steaming a hot sugar syrup into whipped egg yolks. The mixture gets whipped until it's pale, thick, and foamy. This stage is called a pâte baume. The butter then slowly gets added piece by piece until the buttercream just kind of comes together. Because French buttercream is made of egg yolks instead of egg whites, it's a little more yellow in color and has a more rich or a bit of a richer flavor. The buttercream is slightly softer at room temp. That's what's up. And if you use pasteurized eggs, you can kind of, well, no, that was for Swiss. Never mind. Don't worry about that. I didn't tell you nothing about that. All right. Let's judge this operation. Mackenzie's up top. The piping is good. The chocolate is good. What am I on? Wait a minute. Buttercream, chocolate. Yeah, white chocolate. I guess there is white chocolate here. So yeah, the piping's good. The chocolate is good. The layers are all there. Only just set. A nice light cake. Divine taste. Needed about another half hour in the fridge. Now, maybe if you wanted another half hour in the fridge, then you probably should have gave them another half hour. but you only gave them 3, and so this is what you get for that. Nicole, slightly all over the place. Drop down in places here. Very neat. The sponge looks good. The balance of flavor is good. The gelée is just about set. Could be neater. Looks a bit rushed. RJ, the piping looks rushed. Tastes good. Clearly suffered from timing issues and looks messy. Yeah, the ranking, of course, is as follows. RJ, a bit messy. Nicole, not bad. Could be neater. Mackenzie, sponge is lovely. Done it well. And here, this is so there you go. We know who our 1 to 3 is, but this is something I noticed on the show, as well as that little 12 on the screen when they asked for 8. Casey says, "Why don't we convene for the night?" And it doesn't sound right. I'm like, what? And I feel like what she was meaning to say was, "Let's wrap for the night and reconvene in the morning."
In the morning, yeah.
But she said, "Why don't we convene for the night?" And I was like, that can't be right. And nothing about it makes sense to me. And I just want to share that with you, the listener, and my people's here, because I told my child and my partner sitting there watching with me. And I'm like, that ain't right.
I've never heard it used that way.
Yeah, because I don't think it was meant to be used that way. I think she had an error, and they just rolled with it. 2 errors in this episode.
It was the best take.
Oh my gosh! Hit it with that showstopper, Nick.
An intricately designed dessert tower based on the theme Your Journey to the Tent. A large cake base topped with 2 additional baking disciplines to create one cohesively designed tower. The towers can be any style of sponge and flavor, but they must be 12 inches in diameter. They have 4.5 hours.
Nick Jew, one more again. You showstop this go around.
Yes, but not necessarily with everybody's finished product, but the whole Showstopper challenge was so riveting and exciting and nail-biting and emotional that I was super impressed that everybody finished.
For sure. RJ's up first. RJ is like, I'm going to put together some things like based on stuff we've made here in the tent, but also stuff we made in the stuff leading up to us, getting into the show. So he's going for a banana layer cake and cheesecake tower. A banana pecan sponge, which is based around his loaf cake that he made in the first episode, filled with banana ganache and bourbon caramel buttercream. The second tier is going to be a no-bake chocolate berry cheesecake with a chocolate shortbread crust. And to top it off, it's going to have these pâte à choux eclairs filled with mango passion fruit creme. That's what he didn't get. So I'm like, what was missed from that? That pâte à choux eclairs never happened, y'all.
It was beautiful. It was just kind of simple
Sure.
for the challenge.
Yeah. Mackenzie is making For the Love of Baking Tower. The base is a lemon sponge filled with mixed berry compote and white chocolate buttercream. There's a structure to it that's made with a sesame nougatine. I want you to think of like a peanut brittle, but with sesame seeds. Adorned with pineapple and salted caramel macarons. Don't that sound fire? Bruh. Because in my mind, the flavor profile is pineapple upside down cake. You know what I'm saying? Because that's exactly what you get there. It's pineapple and caramel kind of vibes. Topped with mini key lime tarts. Because if nothing else, we know she got the key lime on lock, y'all.
Yep.
Nicole is making the Great Minnesota Get-Together Tower. Bruh, everything about Nicole's bake, I wants. Top to bottom. I wants it. I needs it. Gots to have it. Brown sugar sponge, sandwiched with a bourbon pecan pie filling, with Swiss meringue buttercream, lemon sugar cookies made to look like the octagonal fair building of the Minnesota Get Together Fair. You know what I'm saying? With a spire, which is basically like a mini croquembouche of honey creme légère filled pâte à choux. Everything about it. Yes, I want it all. Creme légère is a light and cream combining creme pâtissier, which is pastry cream, and whipped cream. They've used this before. They called it something different, but this week they called it creme légère, and I want you to let you know what creme légère was. Swiss meringue buttercream has a meringue base, which is made by cooking egg whites and sugar, then whipping them into a thick meringue, and then whipping in the butter into that. So that's how the Swiss meringue buttercream is whipped up. I'm going to judge this stuff. So you have this final round of judging. RJ's up top. The cheesecake is delicious. Nice and banana-y. Now, I feel like you got to be English to get banana-y off, because banana-y ain't doing it. But banana-y seems to just have a ring to it that works. It's got some banana flavor to it, is what I'm saying, y'all. Little heavy to prove, but Paul digs it. He thinks the texture that the pecan brings lifts it, giving it an additional dimension. He made two very good bakes. It's just a shame he didn't get finished with but what he did come through with was fire. My man can bake. So just is what it is, y'all. Mackenzie's up next. Very impressive and original. Like the design and the way the macarons surround it. The sponge is nice and delicate. Goes nice with the white chocolate and Italian buttercream, which itself is light. And an essence of summer is what Dame Prue says. Paul cracking that nougatine with like a horror movie killer. Just wild work. Paul Hollywood be just stabbing things, and it's just so hilarious. But that nougatine, guess what? Is is hidden as well. Prue does not really appreciate the pineapple curd in the macaron. She says it tastes like 10 pineapple. But again, like I said, pineapple's up. I don't think I've ever made a pineapple upside down cake with fresh pineapple. I have made it with only have used 10 pineapple. I feel like fresh pineapple might not even work. You got to cook it down a little bit first, wouldn't you?
It'd have to be like really ripe. It'd be like a day before throwing it away.
The key lime tarts are good. Paul thinks just slightly overcooked, but overall, great job. Nicole could be neater, but overall terrific. The sugar biscuits is nice, but a bit hard. Excellent choux pastry. Love the filling and the nuts on top. The honey with the creme légère is spot on and a perfect combination. Original and wonderful. Like they've never had anything like that before. And like I said, the fact that multiple times during this series, American bakers came through and gave them something they've never had before, I think is so dope. Um, the sponge is delicious. The pecan in the center is the hero, rich and indulgent and powerful, well thought out. Because the pecan is powerful and the nuts are dry, you need the buttercream, which with it. So together, they just are just a bomb combo.
The
Like, you get
nuts
a lot of
are
butter.
dry.
What'd you say?
The nuts are dry.
Not salty.
I had to do it one last time.
Well done. And Paul said he'd have it any day. And same, sir. Same. I truly wish I could have it right now, this day, currently, while I sit here talking to this microphone. That'd be brilliant. I just was truly taken aback by this series go around. I mean, yeah, I guess I'm saying the reality of it is I got to talk to a bunch of these bakers and probably can talk to all of them before it's all said and done. So I kind of maybe just have a bit more of an attachment this season than I have in past. But y'all know how we do. Y'all know how we talk. I mean, saying we try not to pull. We have tried not to pull any punches and talk real to you. And the right person won this go around. You know already because we talked to her earlier in this very episode. Mackenzie is the winner of the Great American Baking Show and well deserved.
AKA Sprinkles.
Sprinkles.
It was so good. It was so fun. I really truly enjoyed this series. I got to give it up to Frank, the homie, who initially pulled us in the review last year's go round, which got us thinking about the Great American Baking Show as a thing at all. And because of yous, we make a whole show about it and have had good opportunities to speak to people and get in and so forth. I think that's dope. And
thanks to Brad again.
Oh, of
for setting
course.
us off.
I got to get Brad like a shirt. You know what I'm saying? Gotta hit my man up with a gift because it is extra necessary because again, of course he's the one who sets this off so we're able to speak to the champ and other bakers and so forth. And every one of you guys were just a delight to speak with. Like I said, I hope to get everybody else in. My intention is, and I will tell this to Nick and Ant too, because I had to go over it with you anyway. To try to do just basically a postmortem next week, try to get as many of those bakers on here as we can. Just shoot the shit about their season of the Great American Baking Show, and wrap up this a series. Like I said, we had a pre episode. We can have a post episode, and then kind of wrap it all up and call it a night until the fall when GBBO returns and we get back to business, y'all. It's the question of the week. Your favorite bake this series?
Favorite baker?
No, we did that one last week.
Okay.
I should probably check and see if anybody answered that. Oh, I see the purple bubble. And of course, it's the big homie. It is Brad himself. He says, "I think Victoria and Nicole is a tie. They're passions, but I love them all." Brad, you're such a sweetheart. Thank you, kind sir. All right, y'all come with a poll question.
Favorite pie?
Not because we did that during that week, didn't we? Yeah,
oh shit!
Yeah. Plus, it's a poll. I have to have options.
Options.
How many?
Okay.
Options you really got?
Would you rather go home first, get eliminated in the double elimination, or never receive a handshake?
Oh shit!
I'm just gonna put "Would you rather," and then I'm gonna put the poll options, and that is.
Mm-hmm.
So, has a winner never got a handshake?
Yeah, there's been plenty of people who walked away without the not plenty, but I mean I know there have been. Okay, home first. Home in the double elimination.
Home in the double. No handshake. Either no handshake or no No wins.
No Star Bakers.
No Star Bakers. Yeah, no Star Baker win.
No Star Baker. Shake. Very good. That's a fun one. Well done.
Do you want to answer?
Assuming I had the time and could just stay in England for all the remaining of the filming, you can send me home first because I'm just kicking in England for about a month, and I think I'll be okay with that.
The only thing I would like is a Hollywood handshake. I don't care if I win or not.
Yeah.
That's for me too. I think I would rather go home in a double elimination than either of those other two options.
Fair. Oh, Star Bakers apparently, just because I know it to be one word on this program is 2 words to Microsoft. So
Or if I get that Prue spoon or fork lick, like she just hold it there, like
do a little Prue dance. Because she do a little shimmy. She do a little shimmy when it's hitting.
I'm telling you, I want somebody to look at me the way that Prue looks at the bakers when she tastes their food. It's all I want in life.
Like, it's something about Prue where she like really likes something. Like, yeah, the Hollywood handshake, a lot of people don't got that, but that Prue shimmy, everybody don't get that.
Yeah, bruh. Like I said, when she was like, "Yeah, I agree. This is," and then she just popped. She just shut her own mouth up, shoved some food, and was like, you know what, girl? I'm lying.
Let me get another little piece. Now that I know Prue stole somebody man too, I just love her so much. It makes me appreciate her greatly.
What's that one Mary J song? One Friday, your friend of mine. Tuesday. Like, I think of that song every time I see Prue.
Oh my gosh! All right, so again, no guarantees. I am, like I said, I'm going to email the whole operation to see if I can get everybody to come and kick it. And if that were the case, think about it. That's going to be 11 people all at once. It's going to lead to a bunch of chaotic nonsense. But I think a good time to be had. But we're going to see if we can talk to everybody and hang out and have a good time and just, like I said, wrap it up and say our goodbyes to this series of the Great American Bake Show. Again, we know we got another series coming. In fact, they were reaching out for bakers not too long ago, so sooner than later that is going down. Plus, toward the end of the year we'll get the holiday episode, which will be also I'm as always I'm excited for. Plus, like I said, GBBO back here in usually early September or kind of mid-ish September, I guess. So it's happening. It's going down. It's going to be great. Thanks for kicking it with us. That is the Big Homie Nick Jew. Nick Jew is the host of What's the Tea? Yes,
sometimes.
She also has a host.
Sometimes.
Hey, you are always the host of it.
That's true.
So, it's a delight, and you should be getting down with that whenever possible because it's good. That's Ant.
What is it? The braids?
The Great American. I said the Great American. Lord, Stays Crunchy and Milk. Where was my
The Great American Skim Show?
Stays Crunchy and Milk. We kick it over there doing the dang thing. And it's also a pretty fun show. I am the Internet's Terror 713. I'm also a part of the Cadillac on Mars podcast. We just recorded one last night. It was very fun, y'all. It was the first one we got to have Delvin back after. You don't know who Delvin is, but if you listen to that show, you'll know who Delvin is. Delvin had been gone for a couple episodes, and it was good to have him back, and we had a really great time, y'all. I think you will enjoy that as well. So go look up Cadillac on Mars, What's the Tea, and or Stays Crunchy and Milk, all these other podcasts that you should be getting down with because they're all just a delight. Bake with us, y'all. We'll do it again next week.
What happened to your ass? It used to be beautiful.